Hello everybody, today I'm going to share with you the plane analogy that I often use in my free weekly online public speaking groups, meetings, very fun, link in the description. Now behind me you'll see that I've drawn two diagrams. Now they are the same, but this one we shall call a speech. Okay, this is a speech, and this is a plane taking off. Okay. Now, what happens when a plane takes off? It goes up, 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 and it gets to a nice height where it needs to be, and it descends into a nice smooth landing. It's all very smooth. We want there to be no turbulence. Okay, and here is a public speech. Let's take off nicely, okay? Get to a nice height, a nice level of energy where we're flowing, and we have everyone's attention, and people are looking out the window and they're seeing amazing things. I'll get onto that later. And we have a nice descent down to the end point, if there is a time limit to your speech. So they really are parallel. And this is why I use this metaphor. It's very easy to understand, and there's so many little nuggets that I want to put into this video. It's difficult to organize this information. Maybe I shall do it formally one day, but not today. It's going to be nice and casual, so let's just bring out some insights. So here, when we're flying a plane, as I said earlier, our passengers, they want to be seeing amazing things out the window. We often say, oh, it's such a great flight because I saw amazing things out the window, right? So what does that mean in the context of a speech? Well, the mind is kind of like a window, okay? The eyes are the window to the soul. Okay, our imagination is the content outside of the window. Okay, so if we're imagining something great, something vibrant, something interesting, then that is what our passengers are seeing out of the window. Okay. And this ties into another idea that I have, which is that communication, is all about transferring what's going on in my mind into your mind. Okay? And perhaps they won't be exactly the same, which makes it interesting. So, yeah. So a great speech is interesting. I was on a call today with somebody who was telling me all about Greece, okay, in her 2-minute speech. And this is the online public speaking group that I mentioned earlier. And she was using adjectives, she was using, it was really great. And I felt like I was imagining Greece very vividly as she was speaking. And so it was an enjoyable 2 minutes. So if there's turbulence, which is a new idea I'm introducing right now, then whatever's outside the window is still going to be interesting, but it's not going to be as enjoyable of a plane journey, okay? So what does turbulence mean in a speech? Simply nervousness. Okay, when there is turbulence on a plane, everybody feels nervous. What's going on? Right? And it's just like, And in the same way, our audience, by the way, the passengers of the plane equates to our audience. Our audience, they want to feel like the pilot is in control, okay? That the pilot is taking them somewhere amazing, and we're going to get there safely. So when there's turbulence, or when there's nervousness, it's a sign that perhaps things might not be going very well, or perhaps there is not a conviction on behalf of the pilot or the speaker that they should be in that seat, okay? I'm pretty sure that turbulence doesn't mean that a pilot is a bad pilot, but go with me here. So, yeah. Turbulence. It makes the audience uneasy. Because when a person is speaking publicly, they are in a position of authority. And so if they are being listened to, so if they feel not good for this role, if they don't feel worthy of this role, then it's going to show. And the audience is going to feel uneasy and they're not going to want to listen as much. So, yeah, very important that the journey is nice and smooth emotionally. Okay. Now, of course, there can be different emotions in the speech, and that makes it nice and vibrant. But I would put this in a separate category. I would put this in the content of Outside of the Window. I would say this is because there's a difference between putting different emotions into a speech and feeling unworthy to be giving a speech. So the difference is that on the unworthy side, okay, on the worthy side, when you feel worthy to be giving the speech, there is an undercurrent of calm, okay, an undercurrent of assurance, self-assurance. So we can go into and delve into different emotions while being in control. But yeah, we can give lots of different emotions without it being awkward and unenjoyable for our audience to listen to. So yeah, and then, yeah, okay. So another thing that I often say is when people are ending, and there's often a timer screen shared in our Zoom meeting, okay, 2 minutes. So they can see the timer and they try and end it at 0, end their speech at 0, right? So, but oftentimes they can miss that 0. And what I say is, oh, you've missed the landing spot. You've missed the right place on the airstrip. Okay? And to go deeper into this metaphor, imagine if a plane landed too early on the airstrip. Okay? They landed way too early. So outside of the metaphor now, let's say they've stopped, let's say 30 seconds too early. And it's just like, oh, I don't know what to say. Right? Inside the metaphor, if you stopped too early on an airfield, I mean, the passengers, they're just gonna be like, what's going on? I mean, I'm glad we've got to the end. I'm glad we got here safely, but I've got a long way to walk to the airport. Okay, and they're going to be kind of miffed. They're going to be kind of annoyed. So we've got to land right beside the airport. So there's just a tiny short distance between walking from the plane to the airport. So outside the metaphor rather, this means stopping exactly when you need to stop, if there is a time limit, stopping it exactly, and also being certain. This is also included in landing well, being certain of the end, so that our audience is certain of the end. Okay? In the same way that the passengers on a plane, they want to know when they've ended, they want to know when they've landed, so that they can celebrate, you know? And what does that look like? In outside of metaphor, people clapping. They want to know, are you finished? Because we're supposed to clap now, right? So we've got to make it clear for the audience, right, when we have ended. Let's see what else we have here. Nothing comes to mind. If anything else comes to mind, I shall add it in. But this is a good first introduction to the plain public speaking metaphor. Thank you, everybody, and subscribe.